Steve Merril back here on WagerTalk TV with the big game breakdown for you for this loaded NBA card tonight on Tuesday, April the 9th. We have a full slate of 14 games. 28 of the 30 teams are playing, and that's, of course, because nobody played last night on Monday when we had the final college basketball game of the season. Oh, by the way, an easy under best bet we cashed with Purdue on Saturday, came back with the under in the championship game on Monday. We're seeing it well on a 70% all sports run as we head into Tuesday night. Don't forget, also baseball. I have a baseball best bet tonight. Also, my top NBA plays each and every day. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and check out those bonus free plays as well on my page. Going to look at one of the early games here for the big game breakdown. It's 7 o'clock Eastern. You know, Ralph Michaels pointed this out a couple weeks ago here on WagerTalk TV that just blindly playing double-digit favorites the final 10 games of the regular season over the last 6 years has been a money-making opportunity. However, it's even better when you take road favorites. That's been over a 70% play. And there's several double-digit road favorites tonight. And I think one of them that does have value is the Dallas Mavericks. This line overnight opened 10.5. There was some thought Dallas might be resting some guys, but now it's up to 13 across the board on Tuesday afternoon. And there is value still with the Dallas Mavericks in this spot as it has blowout written all over it. One of the reasons I love playing the better team on the road is because we get a discounted price. The odds makers still factor in a couple points for home court. There's absolutely no home court value for the Charlotte Hornets. They are just finishing out the stretch here of a miserable regular season. They've only won 2 of their last 12 games straight up. One of them was as a dog at home against Cleveland. The other was against Orlando. Yes, those are impressive wins, but they've gone 0-10 straight up in their other games, and many of them have been blowout fashion. And keep in mind, they lost to Orlando by 20 a week earlier on the road, so that was more of a flat spot for the Magic. I don't really think Charlotte did anything special there. Dallas, meanwhile, underachieved a lot of the season, but they have turned things on recently. In fact, they've won, I believe it's 14 of their last 16 straight up, and they've gone 14-2 ATS their last 16 as well. They've been the best moneymaker in the NBA. They've been the most consistent team down the stretch, and they're getting it done with defense. In fact, over that 14-2 run, they've only gone over the total 4 times. They're 12-4 to the under their last 16 as well, and that's because the defense has been lights out, holding many teams to the high 30s, low 40s. Now, their last 2 wins against Golden State and Houston, defensively, they did have a rough game against Houston the other night on Sunday, giving up 49.5% shooting, 136 points, but they still won and covered, won by 11 points. I look for a much better defensive focus here on this road game tonight. And Charlotte, once again, a team that's just tossed in the towel. So if you're going to play it, I would lay it with the Dallas Mavericks minus the 13 tonight. That game tips off early at 7 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. Steve Merril back with a free play for you this Tuesday night in the NBA, and it's a huge card, 14 games on the board. Don't forget you get my official best bets for both baseball and basketball tonight on my personal page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And, of course, you can get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. And, oh, by the way, free plays each and every day on my page as well. It's a great way to build your bankroll. Free winners every day. Check it out, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. 70% all sports run here. Best bets as we enter Tuesday night. Free play for you on the late card. In fact, it's the last game on the board, all the way at the bottom, 10-10 Eastern. We're going to take a look at the New Orleans Pelicans minus the 13 to 13.5. I've mentioned this several times. Ralph Michaels pointed it out over a week ago right here on Wager Talk TV that blindly playing double-digit favorites in the final 10 games of the regular season has been a good moneymaker the last 6 years in the NBA. But the sweet spot, over 70% against the spread, has been double-digit road favorites. And it makes a lot of sense for a couple reasons. First of all, the road team normally doesn't overlook an inferior team away from home because they're focused, they're on the road, they don't have any distractions, and we get a discounted price because of it. If this game was at New Orleans, the line would be 15, 16, maybe 17 points. We're getting a couple baskets off the price, and these bad bottom feeder teams have no home court edge, especially late in the season. Fans aren't showing up. They're not paying for tickets. Portland just 11-27 and straight up at home. They're 6 games below 500 against the spread. They've actually been a better point spread team on the road. Meanwhile, New Orleans has been one of the best road teams in the NBA this year, 25-14 straight up on the road, as opposed to 21-18 at home. They actually have a better road record this year, and point spread wise, they've been profitable as well. So good spot to take a focused double-digit road favorite, which is an angle that works well late in the season. And the other reason I like New Orleans here is that they will be focused after winning just one of their last 5 games. They're 1-4 straight up in ATS their last 5, but that one win was in the last game against a good Phoenix team on the road as a 6-point dog. So this is the second of 4 straight road games. I think that spark plugs a good West Coast trip here, and I like New Orleans to keep the momentum going after that win in Phoenix the other night. Meanwhile, the Blazers have won 2 of their last 3 games, but they're still playing terrible basketball. In fact, they're just 2-11 straight up their last 13. So don't let the 2 wins fool you. They came on the road against 2 of the worst teams in the NBA, Charlotte and Washington. When they played Boston 2 days ago on Sunday, they lost by 17. And now they're returning home for the first time in 2 weeks. That also is a negative, especially for bad teams. Not to mention Ralph, his son Jeff Michaels and I talked about this last summer. Baseball teams coming off extended road trips are a bad playing that first game back, but it's even worse when they've had a day off and they're a home dog. That's the spot Portland is in here tonight. It all sets up for a good situational blowout for the New Orleans Pelicans. If you're going to play it, you better lay it with New Orleans minus the 13 to 13 and a half. That goes late tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern. And don't forget, if you want my personal best bets for Tuesday night, along with a bonus free play, baseball and basketball, check it out right now on a 70% all sports run. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com.